Well, hello there. Today we're going to back up our flyer game. Um, Please make sure that your plane pivot doesn't have any overrides. Um, if you made your airfield into a prefab, make sure that has no overrides. Um, what we're going to do here is we're just going to get some specific folders from our assets folder and create a package. So what I need you to do is I need you to select your materials folder. In the assets folder, I need you to select your materials folder, your prefab folder, your scene folder, and your scripts. Just these folders. And after you have those four folders selected, materials, prefabs, scenes, and scripts, I want you to right click your mouse and select export package. This will open up the package exporter. This is a really important step here. At the moment, the exporter wants to get like everything that's needed for this, and we don't quite need everything. A lot of this stuff that's listed here, a lot of this stuff, it is contained in the fantasy environment, the fantasy skybox, and in the terrain samples asset pack. A lot of that stuff is located in those folders. And when we recreate our project after spring break, when we restore our projects, we're going to just have all those packages. So we don't need to include them in the export. So this is an important step. There's a little checkbox here. It says include dependencies. The files that are inside of, environment and skybox and sample here, those files, they're dependencies and we don't want to include them. So I'm going to uncheck that box. And you'll notice that the list changed drastically, okay? If I include dependencies, I get all that. If I don't include dependencies, this is all I get. And this is what I want. That's all I want. This is going to preserve your game. And then when we restore it after spring break, it should pretty much look the way that it looks right now. So let me click export here. And when I click the export, it's going to say, where do you want to put it? All right. So for lack of a better place, put it in your downloads folder. Okay. And I'm going to put RB underbar flyer 2023 export. So RB flyer 2023 export. That's a good, meaningful name. And then I'm going to click save. Unity won't take very long to do this. Even on your slow computers, Unity won't take long. When the exporter's done, it's going to open up that folder and you're going to see your export file right there. What I need you to do is on this assignment on Google Classroom, this is your one thing you have to do today when you have a sub. Your assignment on Google Classroom is to turn this thing in, turn that file in. Notice the size is only 158 kilobytes. Let's do a little quick experiment. Let me export a package with all the dependencies just to see the difference in the file size. And I'm going to just call this one test. This is just for grins and giggles, just so you can see that there's a big difference in the size of these files. Also, it'll take a little longer, even on my computer, for Unity to create this package because it's not just making a little 158 kilobyte package. It's now including all those dependent files that are in the fantasy environment, the fantasy skybox, and in the terrain sample asset pack. And there it's done. And let's see here. My test file comes in at, wow, a half a gigabyte, 594 megabytes. See, it's a huge difference in file size. What I need you guys to do is just give me the stripped down version of your game. I don't need all those dependencies. When we restore your game, before we even restore your game, before we even restore it, the first thing we're going to do is get all those asset packs in a new project after spring break. And then you're going to import this export package. You're going to import this into your project and bam, just like magic, your project will be restored. So please, this file right here, your export file, something that should be in the neighborhood of roughly less than 200 kilobytes. Kilobytes are tiny, by the way, very tiny compared to megabytes. Megabytes are bigger than kilobytes, 1,024 times bigger. So turn that in on Classroom and you're done for today. I know most of you, the biggest chunk of your time today will be spent waiting for Unity to open. This is your task. If you want it to be for full points and to have it marked on time, today's the day. You got to turn it into me. All right. Thanks. We'll see you in class.